extraordinary release of a bombshell book on the royal family from the perspective of servants has cast some really dodgy light on Meghan Markle's time within the British royal family.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some shocking royal drama. Angela Levin, the well-known royal expert, has made some jaw-dropping claims about Meghan Markle and a secret plan that could shake up the royal family. Is it true that Meghan had her eyes on Prince William? Could this be why tensions between the Sussexes and the Cambridges skyrocketed?
With suggestions that she flirted with Prince William, who was uncomfortable with her tactile approach to life. Now, I guess I'm not surprised by this for a lot of reasons, but the fact that it's entering the public domain for the first time is fascinating nonetheless. So here's the book. Yes, Ma'am, The Secret Lives of Royal Servants by Tom Quinn. We are going to do a deep dive into this book, which is currently being serialized in the Times newspaper. My royal mastermind, Angela Levin herself, a royal biographer who has written best-selling books on Prince Harry and Queen Camilla, will be with me for this. And of course, the Times is highlighting this as William, Andrew, Kate and Meghan, what the palace staff saw. But in reality, the biggest bombshell, the biggest shock to emerge is the fact that William had become very uncomfortable with the way that Meghan was so tactile. So let me take you through some of the key parts of the book in regards to this. Tom Quinn reports that problems began to arise fairly early on. Tensions developed between William and Harry as a result of Meghan's warm, friendly, hug everyone approach. Kate, William and Charles tended to flinch when she moved on in for a hug. Meghan was understandably hurt, as everyone apparently hugs everyone in California. Meghan even tried to hug a singularly stiff old Etonian equerry. He too flinched, as if she had tried to poke him in the eye, as another member of staff put it. The tactile manner, this is when it comes specifically to William, however, made him uncomfortable because Meghan hugged him virtually every time they bumped into each other. The hugging and cheek kissing fueled gossip among the staff that Meghan was flirting with William. Now, probably for legal reasons, Tom Quinn adds hastily, which she obviously was not, but the tense atmosphere caused by all the touchy-feeliness and the resultant gossip deepened the rift between the brothers. In fact, William's rather awkward, even inhibited personality was baffling for the more spontaneous Meghan. A member of staff recalled Meghan once asking, "Why do William and Charles sound so serious all the time?"
Stay tuned, because we're breaking down all the details. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Angela Levin's claims. Angela Levin, a respected royal biographer, has been making headlines with her latest revelations about Meghan Markle.
She used to make jokes about Harry not having the same parents as William, as she insisted Harry isn't pompous at all. He's chill. So, Angela Levin, was Meghan Markle too tactile with Prince William during her time in the royal family? And how do you think Prince Harry, your subject, is going to feel about these bombshell revelations in this new book from the perspective of the royal servants?
According to this book, Meghan was shocked to learn that Prince Harry wasn't as rich as she thought. And let's not forget, this is a woman who's used to running in Hollywood circles, where money and power go hand in hand.
Well, my thought today is to bang it with a hammer, because I don't believe a lot of it. I just criticise the one that she says, you don't have the same parent. Well, she goes around and said, I don't know anything about Harry. I know nothing about the royal family. Here she was suggesting that Harry was not born as he should have been. And I mean, that is a real nonsense, you see. And I think this cuddling was because she is just that flirty type of woman. I wrote again about Andrew that he didn't like her. He didn't think she was right for Harry, as he told him, be careful, make sure you're okay. But if you look at her, she's forever staring at him, sort of all doggy-eyed. And there's one really funny thing where they're coming out of church on Christmas, and she keeps looking at him with these googly eyes, and he gets a scarf, and he ties it around his neck, and then he ties it around his neck again. He tries to keep away from her, after, as much as he could. And I think that any man has got the right to do that. They have a woman they don't like who's coming after their brother. She adores his wife. Why on earth would he want to go anywhere near her? He doesn't want to shout at her and say, "Get out of here," loudly. So he's very annoyed. He can be smiley and nice, but she looks at him all the time. If you went and see wherever they are, she's staring at him because she wants to, for him, she thinks that Harry is worth 20 million and William is worth much more than that. She was very shocked to hear that Harry only had this amount of money. So she was flirting with him, and she's been a flirt for many years. She doesn't keep men for many years. So this is what he's doing. And I think that William's behaved very properly. I don't think he was scared of her or anything, but, he was just polite and took no notice of her as much as he could.
According to her, Meghan may have had a secret plan that involved getting close to none other than Prince William himself. Levin claims that Meghan was allegedly very charming around William in the early days. Some sources suggest Meghan had a way of making people feel like they were the most important person in the room. Could this have played a role in the reported tensions between the Sussexes and the Cambridges?
Really fascinating stuff, Angela. Of course, it does explain another reason. I'm not saying it's the sole reason, but it is another reason why Catherine was so understandably upset about Meghan. Of course, we know, because I've reported for a long time, a lot of that was over the way that Meghan was treating the staff at Kensington Palace. But I guess this does potentially add another dimension to it.
I don't think so. I think she feels very satisfied with her husband. He's got children and everything else. I think she didn't like her because the first time they invited them round, and she had jeans which was very torn, and she wanted to give them a great big hug. Well, actually, I'm sure you, me, anyone who's got any sense would not meet for the first time a couple you don't know, whether they're, prince and princess or not. You don't go around hugging them. You just say hello and you smile very nicely, and you don't behave as if you're going to have an affair in the next half hour. So I think it was incredibly bad, and I think what she wore was incredibly bad. But she wants to make a spotlight out of herself, and I don't think that Catherine was jealous of her. I think Catherine was very annoyed with her because she kept wanting to take over. She said to the Queen that she ought to actually use her rather than Catherine, because she's worked a lot more and she's self-made, and she couldn't understand why she wasn't lifted up over Catherine. Well, who wouldn't be annoyed like that? Who wouldn't actually move away and have as little as possible to say with them? And I think Meghan could actually perhaps twist Catherine, because Catherine is so well-mannered, and yet she had this dreadful woman by her, and she couldn't bear it, but she couldn't do anything about it. And of course, she was so close to Harry. Harry called her the sister he'd always wanted. Now, this doesn't mean Harry was after Catherine, if you say that. And I think that, you can be very, very friendly. You can love somebody, but you don't actually take it the next step. And I think that Tom Quinn has taken that another step to make the book much more lively. I just want to do another big mistake he's made.
Okay.
That he said that when he was talking about Camilla, he said, she met him at polo.
The awkward royal interactions. Let's analyse Meghan and William's interactions over the years. While William has always maintained his royal composure, body language experts have pointed out some interesting moments between them. Remember that time Meghan placed her hand on William's arm at an event? Or when she gave him a playful glance during a royal engagement?
Game, and she went straight up to him and said, both you and I are connected because her great-great-grandmother had an affair with the king at that time, which was led on to William. And that's nonsense, because I got very friendly with Lucia Santa Cruz, who was Camilla's very close friend. She was the daughter of a Chilean ambassador. He went back to Chile, and she went and lived above Camilla. And she was going out with William as a friend because her father was talking to people at the top of the where she was at the university at Cambridge. And they got on very well. And one day she was having a drink with him upstairs before they went out. And she said, "Oh, I'd love you to meet Camilla." So he said, "Yeah, fine." So she went downstairs, up came Camilla, and the two of them just started talking, burst out laughing. They got on incredibly, incredibly well. That was early in 1970. And she introduced them to that. And after that, they met and fell in love, and everything else happened, or didn't at the time. But that's how they met. They didn't meet. And it annoys me when there's such a big error that was changed by not just me, by other journalists, that this was how it happened. And Lucia said, "I never thought it would happen like that. I thought they could just be friends. But one of the best things I've ever done in my life." And so that's how. I think that I'm a bit suspicious about the absolute truth. And I feel that as a writer, because I always got names that they can attack me afterwards if they think I've said the wrong thing. There's no names. You've got all the staff, and it's another one and another one, and you don't really know. But I do know that in the palaces, the staff who work there, they're not paid a lot, but they love that. They're very devoted to the monarchy, and they would do anything, and they're not going to go around being spiteful and telling everybody what's going on. So I think that he's done it very successfully, because it makes a very good read, but actually a lot of it is exaggerated or not true.
These may seem like small things, but in the world of royalty, where every move is scrutinized, they could mean a lot more. Could Meghan's natural charisma have been misinterpreted? Or was there something deeper at play? Let me know what you think in the comments. Kate Middleton's reaction. Now, we can't talk about this without mentioning Kate Middleton. If Meghan was indeed trying to charm Prince William, how did Kate feel about it? According to royal insiders, Kate reportedly kept her distance from Meghan early on, despite efforts to present a united front. Some reports suggest that Kate saw through Meghan's act from the very beginning and wasn't impressed. Could this be the real reason why their relationship seemed tense from the start?
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Let's keep going through it. So he talks a bit more about Catherine and William. He's calling her Kate, though, which I know she won't like. But he writes, Kate inevitably sees a different side of William and enjoys ribbing him about his family. She insists that as he gets older, William looks more like his great-great-great-grandfather, Edward VII, and she likes teasing him about the fact that his stepmother, Camilla, is descended from Edward VII's favourite mistress. Both Harry and William could be cruel about Camilla. Their nicknames for her included Lady Macbeth, Cruella de Vil, and the Witch of the West. Now, we know there were lots of tensions between Harry and Camilla, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he was using those nicknames. But do you think William was really calling Camilla Lady Macbeth, Cruella de Vil, and the Wicked Witch of the West, Angela? Because that seems quite
They were
surprising.
both very upset. They didn't want their father to marry again, and they loved their mother so much. And it's quite normal that if your mother dies like that, and there's been a relationship before, that you should be very nervous about it and not welcome the person. But William, who was the first to meet her, he came back to the palace early after school, and it was a bit of a shock. And they went upstairs to have a talk for half an hour. and it was calm, it was nice, and she's very gentle. She didn't push herself, and he was accepting her, and he was very, very pleased that his father was so happy. And it helped him work, and it helped him talk to them, and it worked very well. But Harry dug his feet in and decided that she was a monster and blamed everything onto her. And but William, you can see, is a much more solid person than Harry, who just can blow up whenever he feels like it.
Was Kate protecting her marriage and her future role as queen? If you're enjoying this royalty, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Prince Harry's perspective now. Where does Prince Harry fit into all of this? If Meghan was getting close to William, wouldn't Harry have noticed? Some sources claim that Harry was completely smitten with Meghan and may not have picked up on any awkwardness.
Now, Angela, this book has a lot of interesting details about Meghan's entry into the royal family, why it went wrong according to the staff. So obviously you're reporting a lot on this at the time, as was I. So let's just take some of this. So one of Harry's senior aides, now retired, has said in this book, "We had meetings about events Harry was planning to attend, and I increasingly got the feeling his mind was elsewhere. It was not as if his job was not to attend events, which is what the senior royals always do as their core activity. Instead, he saw his core activity as being with Meghan and increasingly adopting her views of the world. Some people would say he was just being a loyal husband, but the team, the staff, found the whole thing baffling." Another former staff member related, "That terrible modern word woke has often been used, and although I don't like it, I can see why it is applied to Harry. He did become far more concerned about social issues and the rights of minorities than had ever been before Meghan's arrival." Some of the younger staff at Kensington Palace would have applauded this, no doubt, but the older staff thought he'd become a tree-hugging lefty. They saw it as if Harry was rejecting the values and traditions of his family, and the really senior staff thought, here we go again, Meghan is Mrs. Simpson come back to haunt us. And Angela, of course, that is a reference to Wallace Simpson, who is blamed for the abdication crisis, another American divorcee. Did you see that change in Harry, Angela, given you got to know him so well? Was it Meghan that turned him woke and sort of made him believe that his role was much more looking after Meghan than looking after his duties in the royal family?
In fact, some believe that Meghan's ability to captivate people, including William, was part of what made Harry fall for her so quickly. But here's the big question. Did William warn Harry about Meghan? Some reports suggest that William advised his younger brother to slow down when things got serious with Meghan. Could this have been part of the reason why the brothers' relationship started to break down? So, was Meghan Markle really flirting with Prince William? Or is this just another wild royal rumour? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is clear. The tension between Meghan, Harry, William and Kate has only grown over the years. What do you think? Was Meghan just being friendly, or was there something more? Let me know in the comments. And if you love juicy royal drama, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.